Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the show. We're currently waiting for Ray on Instagram. But are you there already on Instagram, Ray?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Today we have one of our local legends. He's always
Local
been the
legend.
one. Yes, yeah, always been the one that he's very quiet, very secretive, and whenever you make a post, there's always comments saying, "Hey, the master has come down from the Shaolin temple already." You know. So yeah, let's welcome Reto. Reto is a very prolific illustrator and designer. Concept. He has done work for some biggest comic brands in the world. I mean, you guys know Marvel, and you've done work for Marvel, right?
Not really.
Not
Sorry.
really? Oh, not really.
Yeah.
My mistake. I saw the
Yeah,
Iron Man illustration. I thought you done work for Marvel before.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Not Marvel lah, but some other companies lah. Yeah.
Okay, but you work on Marvel IPs before lah, not directly Marvel.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are the other cool projects that you work on that we don't really know about, that are probably not open or not seen before?
Seen before. Oh gosh. Okay. This is Gosh, my brain is kind of empty now. But recently I'm doing a lot more local project now. So I'm doing stuff for churning. The recent one is the Frozen exhibition stuff. Entertainment wise, it can't. Yeah, my brain is a bit blank at the moment. But gosh.
Oh, so that means now lately you've also diversified more into the advertising and brand activation events kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kind of focusing a lot more of those stuff now. Yeah.
Oh, focusing more in those areas lah.
Yeah. Because I'm doing a lot more local based jobs. So simply just that.
Oh, local based jobs. I see. So
yeah. Oh no, you can go on.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Local based jobs like so.
So I've did some I was doing some contract work for Bandai Namco for a bit, and then I was doing some concept development work for a local production house that's doing some Transformer exhibition stuff.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I mean, if you were to talk about all this, slightly more prolific stuff.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be all. Yeah.
How long have you been in this industry already? Like, you've been around for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like for those of you guys who don't know him, like, I mean, how long have you been in this working on all this so many different kind of stuff? Yeah.
So I'm in the industry since like any local guys straight after army lah. That is I think 2002 or something like that, or 2003. So until now,
almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. Oh gosh. And before that, I joined a few companies. So I was working in different companies for 5 years, and then after that, my last company is Imaginary Friends. So I assume everyone know what Studio Imaginary Friends lah. So that's my last studio. And then I kind of left all this studio. I left the studio, and then I started to just start to freelance myself lah. So I'm working for myself lah.
Okay. Oh, I think Han Guang says hello, and the Black Canvas just joined. Hi guys, join us on IG. Hello.
Oh, Black Canvas. Hello.
Oh, you're your friend.
Yes.
Oh,
Ken Lee. Prolific storyboard artist. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, maybe that's someone we can interview Yeah, subsequently. Yeah, do PM. Maybe we could touch base and see how we can arrange. Cool.
Cool.
So you have started your own business for how many years already? On your
From
own.
2007 until now. So that's like 13 years.
What made you decide to move from like having a job at a I mean you're in one of the best studios in the world, IFS.
Yeah.
Um then now you decided to strike it out on your own.
Yeah.
What's the motivation behind it?
Mm, motivation. I was looking for self improvement lah. So
Mm.
simply just that lah. So I'm trying to improve my skill.
Oh.
So when I was in IFS, I'm doing maybe a lot more environmental stuff.
Mm.
And so when I strike out on my own, I try to kind of be a all round artist. So I train
Mm.
my anatomy and stuff like that lah. So simply just that lah. Yeah.
Wow. So you can say you level up quite a bit. Like you were forced to try everything all at one shot, then forced to like, oh my god, I've got to game up and level up, to meet all these different requests from all these so many clients,
Like
right?
yeah. But the intention isn't really to serve the client. The intention is
Mm.
just for me to upgrade my skill to be a slightly more all round artist lah. Simply just that lah.
Mm. Oh, cool.
So I mean, yeah, the client part come after lah. So,
Ah.
so the funny thing is, when you level up specific skill, then you kind of widen your scope of what you can do. So then you try to market yourself to clients with that additional skill lah. So it's growing lah. So maybe when I come out, I do a lot more environmental stuff, and then as I work longer and longer, and my
Mm.
skill grow bigger and bigger or larger and larger, so I can actually do a lot more stuff lah.
Mm. Oh,
Mm.
very cool. Then how would you say what kind of artist or designer would you call yourself right now? Do you specialize, or do you like still keep things quite broad and say, you know what, whatever the client gives me, I can work it out since you have such a broad range of skills?
Uh, I kept it quite wide, quite wide. So
Ah.
but end of the day, right? I'm just I see myself as a person that help clients solve visual problems. So I see
Oh.
myself as a either illustrator or concept artist, depending on what's the situation. But end of the day, I'm just using my drawing skill to
Mm.
solve visual problems. That's how I imagine myself.
Yeah, that's actually pretty much how I see myself also lah. A visual problem solver.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not the same level as you lah, but
Eh,
but
walao.
it's interesting lah. Because I thought like when I came out of school, I thought I'd be like, oh, I gotta be an artist. I gotta work as in a full time as a studio. It's very hard to strike it out on my own. But
Mm.
subsequently, over the years, now being I think in my sixth year already this year, um, it gets I wouldn't say it gets easier, but the challenges become different, right? Because now it's more like I've built up a certain reputation. I mean, I'm sure you have as well. Yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you face now? I mean, now that initially you came out, you wanted to level up, right? But now the challenges are different. What are the areas are you
Challenges are
yeah,
different.
facing right now? What are the areas of challenges, if any, lah?
Challenges. I'm getting very used to this freelancing life. So
Oh wow.
if you're talking about let's say negotiating with client or tackling stuff or solving problems or working with clients that are not savvy or not used to doing illustration, I'm
Mm,
actually okay with it. I mean part of that is I think I was telling usually I told usually I tell my students lah. I think
mm,
in general, right, my patient and tolerance level is actually quite high. So I try
mm,
to explain stuff slowly to, let's say, clients that never worked with Illustrator before.
mm,
So I'm kind of getting used to that, and yeah, so there's no major stuff there, but of course that I mean, illustration itself, that part is my professional work. So I do professional work. So I don't overthink, or so my end goal is just to service the client. And then if you say problems, right? The problems is if I'm going to, let's say, do more stuff, do more personal stuff. So that part itself is actually quite complex, depending on what I want to do. So recent year, I've been trying to do more comics. And the more I dive into comics, the more I realize actually it's quite a very complex business. You require quite a lot of different entity to let's say to make sure your comics sell. So it's not within my control. So that's something I've been observing and looking into. Of course, I can take the other route. I could be a artist that service let's say DC or Marvel to do comic. But I'm keeping my professional work as a concept artist and illustrator. Comic, I'm just doing it personally. So that's how I juggle stuff.
Okay, so the poster behind you is from your comic, right? Fractured Thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Nice. So I mean, you were just sharing it sounds like there is something else that you're learning, right? I mean, beyond as an artist right now. Now you've been in this almost 20 years being rather almost how many years already? 13 years, right? 13 years.
Yeah, working for myself.
Working for yourself. Do you think you've leveled up in any areas other than art?
Actually a large part that I try to, when I started, right, a large part that I try to level up beside the art part. The art part is what we do. Is the business side. The business side is actually quite complex. So since then I've been reading a lot of so-called business book. So trying to upgrade my business knowledge. And so a lot of my tolerance or understanding of say certain stuff come from business books. Like let's say negotiating for your price with client. And then when you read it, I mean, as an artist, when you learn stuff from school, a lot of stuff is more focused on just the technique, the art side. So the business side is one huge area that's not covered, which is like super essential. So that's one area that I'm trying to that I've been trying to understand and grow. Yeah.
Got any cool stories to share or not about this whole learning and applying whatever they learn in business?
Story. Cool story. Cool story. Gosh. I mean the most impressionable is I tried to do a comic platform called Fantastic Fox. So when I'm doing it, I think I thought through a lot of business issue. So I'm thinking, if I were to force myself through it, I'll be able to make it work. And that is when I'm thinking about that idea. That's like maybe 4 or 5 years into my self-employment history. So I've been working freelance for 4 or 5 years, and I'm thinking if I can make freelance work, maybe if I logic out how comic business work, I could do something. So I tried to do the platform. And it didn't work out. So yeah. And that's part of the reason why a lot of my friends keep saying I'm like I'm not out there socializing with people. If I can make a lot of time I'm juggling my freelance work, comic business work, comic that I want to do, personal project, and this comic platform.
Wow.
So my whole day is like freaking I mean it's scary when I think about it. But I learn from it. So yeah.
Wow, how do you manage your time? I'm barely managing it, running this show and then running my work and then running my own personal projects, but seem to be able to do it very well. Got any secret formula that you can pass around, like some 武林秘籍 that you can pass to some of the guys here? Because I'm sure everyone want to learn, right? Like how, especially now we are in lockdown.
Yeah.
Are there any things that can keep us occupied, entertained, and perhaps even be productive if it be lah? Yeah.
Uh, okay, a lot of my habit, I pick it up after I kind of when I was doing the comic platform. So before that, I think I overestimate myself a lot. So I overestimate myself, and the stuff I do is very basic, like scheduling, time planning, that sort of stuff. But the funny thing is, I try to customize it to my own habit. So
Mm.
I do. I think I showed you the other day. I
Yeah, yeah.
just
He has a really detailed, like, timetable that actually shows what needs to be done.
so this is what I do. So I write down everything. The green is if I exercise. The red is stuff that I miss. So I do that, and as I learned to do this, I realized within one day, right? Basically, I can only do one one major stuff. Meaning,
Mm.
if this major stuff is quite complex, it will eat up quite a large part of the day. So on my schedule, usually I'll put one major element, and then the
Mm.
subsequent smaller stuff, right? I'll do it as I go along. Say replying email or sending out invoice, stuff like that. So, but I'll still take note. I'll write everything down on the board. So then I'll know if I'm productive that day, or am I resting? Yeah.
Mm.
So
Okay, okay.
I
So
mean,
you keep
even
track lah. Mm.
yeah, I keep track. So even resting, if you're resting is actually productive lah. If you pace yourself lah,
Oh
right?
wow, that's
You balance
important to
lah.
hear, leh. Resting is productive.
Yes. Because yeah, you need to rest lah to move on. So if I'm too tired, then I'll pause. But if I'm resting like 2-3 days,
Mm.
or in a row, right, then something is wrong lah. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, even if I'm resting, I'm actually doodling stuff lah. So
It's exploding with ideas, right?
yeah. Exploding with ideas. Yeah, you can say that.
Nice, nice, nice.
But,
Oh, Dan Wong
yeah.
is asking if you could draw one dead person and he or she could come back to life, who would you draw?
Wow.
Dan Wong
Come back
has
to life.
the most interesting questions, lah, huh? Yeah. Oh,
uh,
Edmondson says Torre rocks.
oh, thanks. They're all they're all people I know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Come back to life. Come back to life. Come back to life. I don't know like. Oh gosh. But when he come back to life, will he be my friend or will he be just living his own life, or will there any added value to me?
wow, so complicated.
Right,
Your thought process.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. That's the thing. I think
Adding value all the time.
because I can. Yeah, basically I can just. Yeah, I mean, if I have the power to revive someone, I can. Yeah, I mean, if there's no added value to me, so I can randomly choose lah. I can
Yeah,
randomly choose.
okay, suppose we have two options lah. Maybe one that has no value and one that has value lah. No value one will be who?
No value. Oh, no. Actually, no value. At least I can talk to him lah. Then it's good. So like,
actually, come and think about it. If you can talk to him, then he has value. At least he is talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of. Okay,
Maybe,
the first person I'm thinking of is actually Thomas Edison.
Wow, Thomas Edison.
And then the second person I'm thinking of is Mobius. So yeah, because Thomas Edison quite interesting.
Why Thomas Edison and why not Tesla? Tesla will be more for like giving energy for free. And Thomas Edison industrialized energy. We have free Wi-Fi with Tesla earlier.
Now the thing about all this history book is I feel we won't know them as a person, because through books it's all written by perspective, a point of view of the writer.
Yeah.
So meaning from look of Thomas Edison, right, it's actually quite interesting. He's basically he's very innovative. So he's doing stuff and he's creating stuff. And then he's juggling with business. It's like freaking two things together. Tesla is Tesla is amazing too, but Tesla is an artist. Like he's
Exactly.
a high level. Yeah. So it's different. So Thomas Edison, Thomas Edison is interesting. Mobius just because I like his stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I can see why Thomas Edison makes more sense than Tesla, in the sense of, how he's entrepreneurial. He's an inventor, but he's an entrepreneurial inventor. Tesla was a genius, but he unfortunately he didn't play his cards well in history, so he lost out lah. Yeah, which is a shame but it is what it is History just only I would say take care of the winners lah. But gradually things will surface up over time, and we get to see different aspects of all these personalities lah.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, all this stuff, if we, my brain usually jump around so when you say all this stuff, I try to visualize and stuff, imagine and stuff like Tesla, right? I think now, like I say, books is not complete lah. So if we are written into books, right, it's really summarized version of our freaking whole life. So it's going to be very simplified. So Tesla, I'm not sure, but I'm imagining if he's an artist, and then I reach, then again, I'm not that sophisticated. I didn't read too in depth into his life lah. But the way I see it is, Thomas Edison got it slow So when Tesla is doing great, Thomas Edison is like, phew. But Thomas Edison came back. So it's like with Tesla, if Thomas Edison is suppressing him, then Tesla should, I don't know. But I'm just simplifying the whole thing lah. I mean, if I read into it, I'm quite sure there's even more stuff. But I'm just touching the surface lah.
It sounds like you like his Thomas Edison's fighting spirit lah. How he managed to overcome adversity and quite frankly make a disadvantage possibly into an advantage for himself lah, which is intriguing lah from what I hear from you.
Yeah. So he's like, but as a person, I don't know if he's like if he's
we will never know lah.
No, exactly, that's the thing. So there's quite a lot of elements to it lah. Right.
Before we carry on, Crystal Go QN, she said was at Instagram, but quality here is a lot better. Okay, thank you for sticking around.
Okay.
For those of you guys who are Instagram a bit quiet, feel free to just say hi and let us know that you're around. And if you have any questions to ask our Sifu, please go ahead.
Sifu, no Sifu. Don't say that. I always feel weird when
okay. Hey, that means do you think it's important for artists to learn about business?
I feel no, but now the thing is, whatever I think is really it's just me thinking through stuff. So I have my logic of working through stuff. So I feel it's important, and I feel because it's a large part of what we do which is hidden So meaning if you talk about any business, right, it's actually, let's say it's this huge but art is basically just part, depending on where they place the priority It's just part of whatever the whole system. So so if you are focusing on this skill it's possible if the market is great. If the market is amazing or if you are working in a huge company, it's okay. But because I'm working for myself and local market still okay. So so I feel I need to be more aware of the business side of things. So I try to read into that.
Do you think an artist is a salesman or not? An artist is a salesperson.
He can be.
He can be. He's not necessarily is, but he can be.
Yeah. Wait, is a salesperson in terms of what do you have in mind? Like
so let's put it this way also. Do you think a hawker is a salesperson?
Okay, now the thing that I'm thinking of is let's say we bring back to, let's say, an artist So if is this artist a salesperson? So I'm imagining when you say that, I'm thinking like, he needs to sell himself. So it's possible. So he's proactive. He's talking to a lot of agency and saying, "Hey, I got this skill and stuff like that. If you use me, that's salesmanship lah. It's possible." So and then but our line there's also the other side. So there's the other side whereby let's say the client needs specific artists to draw certain stuff. So they just approach you. So you don't need to sell yourself, but they approach you for your skill and and then you kind of help them solve the visual problem lah. So that part you don't need that much salesmanship, but the front part there's certain salesmanship involved lah, talking to clients and stuff. And then there's one more layer is the stuff we do. The stuff we do, right? A lot of time is used for marketing lah. So that's salesmanship also. So if there's multiple levels lah. So when you say salesmanship, I'm thinking multiple stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would even say like, because I read Daniel Pinkman, to sell is human, I believe. Then he makes a very strong point lah. Like every occupation we sell something lah, whether we like it or not lah. A hawker uncle obviously sells whatever he's cooking. It could be kway chap, it could be kueh, it could be orloy, it can be anything, right? And of course, his signage and whatnot are marketing tools that he helps to sell his stuff. But he's selling something. He's a salesperson. Whether he touts or not, whether he goes, "Hey, come buy my char kway teow," that's another thing. But he's essentially setting up a stall to sell something.
Oh, okay.
So in a sense, he is a salesperson. Like for us as artists, I feel like that's my personal opinion. I feel we are salespeople. And I think for the longest time I struggled with it. Just like, sales is a very dirty thing. I know you cheat, you lie, you're a scoundrel if you do sales. But if I don't sell what I do, if I don't sell my services, I'm gonna eat. I mean I like art, I like to do what I do, but I don't want to just starve and die somewhere, Then not having money also means that what I'm doing is not of value to people, right? Like people don't appreciate what I do, then what's the point of doing it? So I don't know. I kind of like the idea of an artist is also a salesperson. What can be is also not. It doesn't have to be separate, lah. I feel.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, lah. Yeah. So I mean, all these are words, lah, and there's also this complexity of what the word means to you. So certain words are just quite wide, lah. Yeah, so I mean it's interesting. All this is interesting to me.
Yeah, cool. Before we carry on, Gary Chu has a question. Ray, what's the best practice for narrative ideation? Your book Fractured Thoughts has so many great ideas.
Wow, Gary Chu, all friend.
Yay!
Actually, I bribed them to ask me stuff lah. Hey, thanks.
Wow, you established your expertise so fast with your friends. Good job.
Wait, what's the question again? Narrative?
What's the best practice for narrative ideation? Your book Fractured Thoughts has so many great ideas.
What's the best practice for narrative ideation? Best practice. Okay, there's two things that I do lah. And because it's narrative, right? There's two things that I do. And all this stuff came from a mixture of books that I read, and then it's grabbed from here and there. So sometimes I don't. There's time you think about design and idea about an object, how an object look like, how it works, the function and stuff like that. That's thinking more in terms of design. So sometimes when I sketch, I think about scene. So I think about scene like, all my stuff is here.
Wow.
So I think about
the treasure book.
I think about scene.
Nice.
So I think about scene of let's say a character going through certain stuff. So it's coupled in with location design. So I got all this random idea of short sequences of what maybe the character can do. So that's so I do that a lot. But I mean, part of it is also killing me, because I got like so many ideas, right? Yeah, my friend usually, I have a friend called Jeff Bear, Jerry Teo lah. So he say like, "Wow, Ray, you got 1,000 idea, but how are you going to do all those stuff?" So visually, right, when I think about idea, I think like the stuff that I show you, the sketchbook, and then there's also another part that I do a lot. That is so okay, I'm on my table, so everything is right beside my table. So I write a lot. So I write. So this is story 637.
Wow.
So I just writing, and then this practice come from the scene practice, right? Of me. Oh yeah, I forgot. Instagram people also can see me. So
yes.
yeah. So
Hi K Junki and hi Lenatus on IG.
So nice. So the habit of doing all this short scene images come from Japanese director like Miyazaki and stuff. Because
I see.
they think using visuals. This writing came from Ray Bradbury. So he say you just write. Whatever you have in mind, you just write. So I just write. So I just write a lot, and certain ideas are interesting. Then I'll develop it if I want. So yeah, so it's kind of crazy with
Ben Lim says Ray on IG.
Yeah, all our friends.
Nice.
Everyone is at home, right? So everyone is checking in.
Yeah, I mean that's the good thing about doing this now, because everyone has the time to just sit in and just tune in, you know. Instead of just playing their phone games. Definitely more interesting. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it sounds like you're quite well read also, right? I mean, you read a lot of all these the best practices. I would say you compile all these best practices from all these great minds. Any one that you like most in particular that has helped you? It's helped you in your art and things that you do.
So for me, right, when I read all these books, so I read, and whatever that clicks with me, I try. And if it sticks with me, it sticks with me. If it doesn't stick with me, it will be gone. So like I really like Ray Bradbury, where when I was just doing writing without too much thinking, then you'll realize story writing can be that simple. Of course, if you want it to be more engaging, then you need to do more planning. So Ray Bradbury book is interesting. Of course, I also read Stephen King on writing, which is same thing. It's freaking interesting.
Yeah, it's a really good book.
And then actually all this organizing that I do is after I try to do the comic business. So this one is I showed you the other day, is called 525 rule. It's from Warren Buffett. So basically the concept is you list 25 things that you want to do, and then you just focus on the top 5, and then subsequently you try to clear them slowly. So that's this is something I do.
Oh, do you do this on a monthly basis, yearly basis? Like
this one is basically long-term goal. So so this one is not that fast. So I have this board which doesn't change that much. The timetable board change every month, every day. So yeah. And then there's also exercise target here. Exercise target.
Alicia says hey, and Lenata says hey. Ray likes Ray Bradbury. I see you're a man of taste. Lenatus. Cool. So Warren Buffett is also one person that you study from. So, study from a lot of people. Is that the reason why you're always, like you say, you're stuck in the mountains because you're so disciplined? You practice all these things, rarely have time to come out and interact. You learn from all the best. You practice.
I read books, simply just that. Now, the thing about self-employed is, so I do my stuff. Then I got time in between. I could be reading, I could be writing, I could be doing whatever stuff. So that's why I say I'm kind of getting used to this life.
Mm.
And so yeah, I don't know if I read too much or not. I think I think too much. So my brain is constantly gosh.
A very active
So I
mind.
try to huh?
Very active
I
mind.
try to yeah, that's a scary thing. So I'm trying to be more organized,
Mm-hmm.
get hold of my brain, get it in control, frame it nicely,
Mm.
and So that's the only reason I read a lot. Because that's the way to gain knowledge. So a lot of time we do stuff, we could actually do it by trial and error.
Mm.
That is if you have the luxury to do trial and error lah. But I feel a lot of time if I read up, right, my trial and error phrase would be shorter, hopefully, if I can understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's the whole intention of reading up. And
So you can shorten
and
out the experimental time, like, because you learn from the mistakes of others.
simply just that. So-called I mean it's complex lah. That's something I like to say because it's complex partly because it do save time, but the funny thing is if you read too much, you get locked down, you narrow yourself down. So it's a lot of there's one thing that I do is I always second guess myself. So it's like why am I second guessing myself? But if I second guess myself, there won't be this I can't think of there's this term called the black swan black swan situation meaning in general, right, you could be so stuck in your thinking that you assume all the swan is white and this assumption could be easily break when you see a black swan so the logic of that is something like that. So I so-called second guess myself to reevaluate what I'm thinking. But I mean it's helpful on some level but I think doing it too much is not healthy also so it's always a balance everything it's always a balance.
So speaking of lockdown, how are you coping right now with all this lockdown that we have right now? Has it affected you in any way in terms of your productivity or maybe even your getting your inspiration or whatnot?
So inspiration, not really because I'm so used to staying at home and doing stuff in my cave. That's what my friend like to say. Inspiration wise, it's actually still okay. But I'm getting a bit restless like I feel like I want to go out and run longer distance or do some stuff outdoor. But other than that, it's okay. Job wise, like I assume like any freelancer, it's dropping There's lesser job now. Everyone is cutting budget, so job wise is getting I mean it's, that part is getting affected. But I still have a job going on. But the response is really slow. So that's one part. And then I was telling you the other day, I'm also taking a part-time degree in business. So I've been doing homework, studying and doing homework when this thing happened. So I'm packed. I'm still packed.
Any new learnings that you got from your business first year in business degree? Studying for your business degree.
New learning. Actually, I learned a lot. And I learned a lot. I'm basically studying. Sorry, I think very slowly.
That's
my brain is
okay.
cluttered.
You have a lot of ideas coming out and popping out. You're just trying to connect the dots, man. It takes a while to connect the dots.
It's also presenting it verbally. So sometimes the idea can be messy in the head. But if you verbalize, you try to externalize it and you need to kind of organize certain thoughts.
Yes.
So I learned to one interesting thing that I was telling you about is statistic. So statistic in general, we think about statistic as just numbers. But the funny thing about statistic, or this term they call business modeling. So you create a model and you use digit and do so-called calculation. That concept itself is really complex because it can be used to it's basically used to run companies and stuff like that to check let's say productivity of a lot of stuff. And then when we talk about statistic and all this stuff, we think about digit lah. Like I got 10 item, one item, add together how many items, that sort of stuff. But it's not like that. It's actually, it can be a lot more complex, and everything can be statistic. Say it's finding a so-called formula to do certain stuff. Let's say you have 10 employee. You could actually break them down into how productive they are based off an guesstimate of how much work they can do per day. And if they do that amount of work, it's basically 100%. And then you could drop, and then you could take into other consideration like the employee being very new or being senior, that sort of stuff. And you could do all this calculation. And if you formulate out into a model, you could actually calculate, and you could look at the business from a more clearer point of view.
Wow.
So stuff like that is really interesting because from the artist point of view, it's all, like emotion, feeling, and how certain stuff work. But from a business point of view, certain stuff could be, quantify. So it's interesting to me. And but like I was telling you, all this stuff, basically I'm flooded with information, but how do you use it? The usage is another thing. But I quite enjoy all this information that I'm receiving. But end of the day is how do you arrange all this information so you could kind of amplify my business or my amplifying my business simply just that.
Cool. Wicked says Chiang, and Linto just gives you a thumbs up. Cool. Red Bull Entity, hi, welcome on IG. Cool. So at the end of the day, you do see like some sort of there is some sort of synergy between art and business, right? You do see it, yeah? What do you think is the most important link between business and art? Do you see there's something that links these two together?
Most important thing that link them together.
In all your learning so far, like whatever they've learned in statistics, is there something one common thread that links art and business together? Because I think a lot of people cannot. Maybe especially some junior artists they will probably be like, "Hey, I get what you're saying, but I still cannot. How does business work if I just want to draw? I don't want to, think about statistics. How is that going to be relevant for me?
Now the thing is, if the market is more mature here, really, from an artist point of view, you really don't have to think about the business partner. You could just join any company. But if I'm trying to understand the whole thing, business is basically like the spine, the core, and then art is basically like a rib cage and stuff like that. So you look nice with art. But the thing is, without the spine, you won't be a person. So the spine is the business, and art is basically you could say art is a product. End of the day, art is a product or art is a service. So simply just that. But to make it work, you need the business. Of course, it could be, but the funny thing about art is it could be really small, like as in it could be just one individual person serving a big business. But if you want to grow the whole thing into a proper business, right? Yeah, you need the spine, which is the business side of things, to make it work. And business is a general term, because business itself is huge. There's marketing, there's finance, there's the business modeling part is basically strategy. It's not even, it could be strategy, it could be the part whereby you try to analyze the result and stuff, data. So it's like super huge. So art is just one part. So being an artist is possible if you focus on this. But I think I'm getting to an age whereby I feel the business side is essential to push certain stuff even further. Because I feel there's a cap lah. If you were to just constantly work as an artist, there's a cap of what you can do. So I'm imagining if I have business knowledge, could I widen this? Could I expand this pie? The local pie. If I expand this pie, wow, everyone would have even more stuff, right? I mean, so that's lingering in my mind lah. Could I expand the pie lah? Simply just that lah.
Oh, Gary has another interesting question.
No, you cannot.
Second part of the question. In terms of learning, what's the biggest takeaway from your release of Fractured Thoughts? And if you have a chance to do a retake on Fractured Thoughts, what would you change and improve on?
Okay, I forgot the first question, but I'll...
What's the biggest takeaway from your release of Fractured Thoughts? And if you have a chance to redo it, what would you do it? What would you remake and redo it? And we have another question, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, so the first one, Gary, the first one. Don't be impulsive. So I basically I rush into it without much plan. But I feel that's the way to learn. So I kind of decide to do this through impulse. But then again, after that, I try to resolve it slowly. So yeah, I'm impulsive in that way. So, and the second part, if I were to redo it, what would I do? The funny thing about me is I don't think about that. So I think like, okay, if life is lying, okay, and I'm here, okay, I may reflect what I need to do in the past, but I won't think like, okay, if I were to do something else, what would happen? But of course, I'll learn from it, and then I'll do it. Maybe Fractured Thought. Maybe I'll do a second book, and then I'll kind of improve on it, rather than thinking about what I'll fix about it, Because once I finish a product, or once I finish an artwork, I place it out. Usually, I won't think about like I'll fix it ever again. So that's basically how I do stuff,
So you iterate and it becomes better,
Yeah. So it's basically kind of like leveling up, Level 1, level 2, level 3. So I won't think back like, wow, level 1, if I do this and I get this special item, I'll be even better. I don't think like that, I mean, I think maybe the fear is you could be in a vicious cycle of thinking about negative stuff. Maybe that's why I think like that. But usually I do, right? I mean, you feel sad if you do something wrong or if it's ugly, but you move on. The subsequent one, I mean, it's a bit positive thinking. I'll be thinking like the subsequent one will be better. The subsequent one will be better. So I basically, do iteration, just level up slowly.
Gary says, okay, bro. And Rex regrets, don't print 1,000 books. Okay, we have another question from the Black Canvas. Could it be put as business is like OS? Art is like an app working in the OS.
Wow. Yes, definitely can. I think it's true it's true. But I was
No, go ahead.
Okay, like previously we are talking about like there's this reference of freelancing is like MMO. It's like right.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a MMO. So so you got to figure stuff out, and the funny thing with all this stuff is MMO got its own rules, and when you're playing the game, there's certain rules to how certain stuff work. So business is like the rule of how the market works. So it's actually quite essential to understand how the business works before you could do do damage or whatever you want to do lah. So yeah.
I think that's very, very true. Like I remember there was once when Hans Barker came in to give a talk in ADM, School of Art Design Media, and
Okay.
he was talking about color, how the color palette, whatnot. And I asked him a question, I remember asking a question, like, because in Chinese culture, right, yellow is only reserved for emperors, right?
Okay.
And royalty, right? Like only
Okay.
the emperor and the royal family can use it, or maybe even the emperor only can use it, whatever, like,
Okay.
So I was asking him, hey, did that play a big factor in your color palettes? Because I mean, it feels quite harmonious. There wasn't like didn't really how should I put it? Yeah, I mean the color was done very, very well, and I thought did that limitation actually impact it? But he said didn't really consider it. I mean, it wasn't a big factor, lah. Yeah. So I mean, I've that at the moment I realized, oh wow, yeah, it's important to know cultural context when you create a product. So in that sense, business is the same thing, right? You gotta know the rules before you create something, because otherwise you will be creating a product or you're creating an art piece that no one can appreciate, or worse still, people will say that it's horrible, even though you've put in so much love and attention to detail to it, because they don't appreciate, or they cannot or they just find it repulsive or whatever, like, for some whatever reasons, that has that certain element in there, whatnot.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, we have Stormbrush says hi. Hi to us.
Yo.
Yeah, and Crystal says probably based on individual's part, but what part of business you were saying it's a big topic itself? Would you recommend to beginners? What part of business would you recommend to beginners?
What part of business?
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, business itself. Okay, the more I study, the more huge it becomes. So there's so much part. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's huge. I don't know where to even begin. Like okay, if you start small as a freelancer, I feel negotiating skill is important, and then I mean understanding finance is important, and yeah, mainly I mean if you are thinking about on a smaller scale, those are important. How you handle a client is important, that sort of stuff. But if you're thinking about bigger, then it'll be like how do you manage people and stuff like that. So business itself, it could be it could be really small, self-contained. Oh, another analogy is, yeah, you could be kind of like a hawker lah. So you're running your business and then you're earning good money from it. So you don't need very, very complex complex business knowledge. You just make sure your product is good. You make sure you know how much you're spending, and then how much you need to earn, and then your budget, and then if you're earning throughout the whole day lah. So simply just that entity itself is like a very small business lah. So business knowledge those are business knowledge lah. And if you want to expand it bigger, which involve a lot more in-depth knowledge, which I'm kind of going through in the school lah.
Kind of like Hawker Chan, right? I mean, he started off being a very good hawkerpreneur, right? Selling very good soy chicken. Then now it's become this franchise.
Yes.
From a simple business. Then I think he sold. Did he sell the recipe or whatnot? I'm not sure, but
I have no idea.
yeah. So he expanded, and it requires more expertise. People who know how to run a franchise to come in to introduce that model. But I think he still runs his own store in back in his home ground lah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's actually one more example lah. The Ashton.
Ashton, yes.
When I was working in Imaginary Friends, so we used to just go downstairs. He's actually the first stall that he have is actually in a coffee shop. So we are eating there, and then I don't know what happened. He earned enough, and then he start expanding, and then now it's like a huge Ashton franchise.
My experience from that will be, it's not Ashton's, it's Ashton's how do you say it? It's breakaway faction. It's iSticks. The one in Serangoon, yeah. They used to be under Aston's and then they broke away and then they formed I6 and I think they are now a competitor with Aston's.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
kind of cool, to see how just one model can splinter off and now become two different chain restaurants, which I think they serve a lot of Singaporeans with their
Yeah.
business model. Yeah,
Yeah. True. True.
cool.
Yeah. That's I mean, since we are at this, there's also this thing that I like to talk about is I think in general maybe local or but maybe the thinking is changing. Like I think in general people think maybe art, because I think the stuff we do is quite hard to categorize.
Mm,
I see myself as a commercial artist. So basically I service a client, do
mm,
stuff for, so I don't, yeah, so I see myself as a commercial artist. So
mm. Such a dirty
so
word, commercial artist.
I don't feel it's dirty. That's the thing.
That's the point. Some people say it's such a dirty word. I admit when I was a student, I thought that was a very dirty word. Like, oh, commercial artist,
Okay.
so dirty, sell out. But okay, sorry.
Okay. No, should be something. Since when this is my name card. See this character with suit?
Yes, yes.
That's to remind me that I need to be professional. Like like any professional. So basically I see myself as a professional solving problem. I think people can also see it on IG. Yeah.
Yes. They can see it.
So basically I see myself as a professional solving problems for client. So if I'm doing fancy stuff, I'll be doing it on my own. But if I'm doing it for client, it's pure professional work lah. And then there's this thing that sometimes local, I mean, people that are not in the line, I think in general they think you don't earn much from art. That's a mentality issue. And I think sometimes art school also tells students to don't think about the money part. I think you don't think about the money part if the market is mature. If the market is slightly more, I don't know, like maybe complex, like here, then you need to be a lot more savvy. You need to look after yourself when you negotiate. Because I don't think, yeah. So the thing is, art, the stuff we do can earn. And can earn good money if you are smart. And then we are actually a huge essential part in the whole ecosystem. So meaning if I'm working for a client, a lot of time, there's different usage of what we do lah. There's one usage that client use it for is to pitch. So if we paint very nice painting, they pitch it, they get the project. It could be a huge amount of money. Just to give you an idea of how important art is lah. So without the visual, they may not. But without the visual, if their salesmanship is good, maybe they can get stuff. So just in case you're wondering, right? This salesmanship, good art that sells, they should be on par. And then if the salesmanship guy is getting paid really good money, you got to be aware that art itself could be paid really good lah. So that's one thing lah that that I feel I mean and this thing that sometimes artists think about. Okay, there's a few things with artists lah. Sometimes they maybe they victimize themselves. They say, "Wow, market not good. How?" And maybe I get a job, then they'll be thinking like, the price not good, but I do lah, but I do. Then when they're doing, they complain, "Wow, this I need so much effort." Hey, this is business. This is negotiation. If the client offer you $5 and ask you to do a complex stuff and you accept it, you got to be professional. You got to finish it. But I mean, this stuff is complex because it could be either way lah. It could be that the client is bad, or it could be the artist is bad lah. It's not like just the client is bad lah. So it's kind of like a relationship thing lah. So a lot of time, artist itself, if you are working for yourself, you need to be aware of all this lah. And you don't downplay your skill set lah. And because now the funny thing is we talk about it like I think art itself a lot of people are in this line because they enjoy it. So maybe you feel bad because you're enjoying it. Maybe you feel bad charging high, but you should charge proper price lah. Because the thing is, if you look at any professional lah, like we were talking about bankers and stuff,
even sports athletes, right? You mean don't even have to look at bankers, sports athletes. They love what they do. Oh, okay. No, exactly. Our live video on Instagram ended. Oh, my bad. I didn't say goodbye to them. Oops.
Okay. Oh, it's 1 hour.
Yeah, it's 1 hour. I totally missed out on our time. Oops.
So we talked for 1 hour. Sorry, guys.
No worries. Yeah. But I mean, like what we were saying, right? I mean, athletes like Tiger Woods, and the late Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, David Beckham. Hey, they enjoy what they do. I mean, of course, they have to train for it. It's not that they drag their feet to the training ground or they hate it, and they get paid good money for it. Yeah, it's fair. I mean, why do they have to feel guilty for doing what they love?
Yeah, true. Yeah. So I mean, it's I think it's just a perception of what we do lah. Like in general, people think artists need to be starving and that sort of stuff, but we are providing a professional service lah. So it's different. Hey, are you restarting your Instagram or?
No, we can just leave it lah. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And speaking of business, to answer Crystal Go's question, I think if you joined this group, I think it's run by Nicholas Chi. Let me find the name of the group. I believe it's called COVID-19 for freelancers or whatnot. So I think Nicholas will be running a program that, or rather a kind of like a live stream to teach freelancers how do they actually, take note of all their expenses and whatnot, invoicing, very basic bookkeeping stuff lah. I believe the group is called SG COVID-19 Creative / Cultural Professionals and Freelancers Support Group. So if that's something that you want to check out, you can check it out. I think Nicholas Shi just posted it out quite recently only. Yeah, he's thinking of doing a free 90-minute Google Classroom basic bookkeeping for creative business owners. So maybe that would be a nice resource for you to check out. Yeah. Okay, Gary has other questions as well. More questions. Third question already. Any funny stories dealing with fellow artists, students, or clients? Give us some juice.
Funny stories. Oh, no juice. How? Clients. Funny story. Clients, horrible story. Funny story. Not really funny story. I handled a very troublesome client before. And because the company is huge, there's multiple levels. So the person that I'm interacting with, I think it's like maybe a project manager. But imagine, maybe the company is this huge. The project manager's authority maybe is here. So I'm telling her stuff, saying, "Hey, this can't be done. This is something is off here." The advice that the comment that everyone is giving, it's clashing and that sort of stuff. So I try to be really, really patient. And then they keep coming back with stuff. So this project manager is apologizing, but still, it's still coming back with very stuff that is not well thought out lah. So in the end, I try to hold my stand, try to be angry with her. Which I feel bad in the end because I know she's trying to do her job and she doesn't have power over all the people. But I feel bad for it lah. So it's I feel bad for the lady that's running the project. But that's the so-called the worst and most memorable project that I did. But other than that, funny stuff, I don't know. Funny stuff, can't think of any. My brain is a bit blank.
No worries. I mean, at the end of the day, clients are still just people and they're just people with a deadline, or maybe they have a KPI to hit. They're just doing their jobs.
Yeah.
Not everyone is necessarily mean all the time. So I think if we spend time empathizing, I think we can actually get more from them. I mean, not even just monetary sometimes, lah, but it's more like just caring for someone, and it could be reciprocated, lah. Yeah. Yeah. On that note, is there anything that with so many viewers tonight? I think total we probably have about 40 over viewers tonight. Is there anything that you want to leave them with before we close up our chat today? Any word of advice, wise words, tips, pro tip, whatever you want to call it?
Pro tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip. I can't think of any. For the junior artists, right? I think just mix around with the senior artists and just talk to them. It's artist to artist. By right, it's, you could mix around easily. So all this practice about how you be professional and stuff like that, right? If you mix with the right bunch of people, basically you learn stuff. Like there's this group called the OIC. There's a lot of artists that is like they're like senior level or god level.
God
and
level.
And then basically but they all do different stuff. That's so if you're artist, like, and you're thinking like, oh, it's quite empty here, there's no other artists. Oh, you're wrong. There's a lot of very good artists. Even the students I'm teaching in 3D Sense, some of them are really good. And so you just mix around and you never know what you'll get. So OIC, there's also Urban Sketcher, local Urban Sketcher, Band of Doodlers, and then I'm quite sure there's more. So I hope live drawing. There's a lot of live drawing classes conducted by different groups. So just go there, mix around. Yeah, I mean, you guys recognize my face, right? And if you see me, you don't know anyone, you just say, "Hey, Ray." Then I'll try to link you up with some people, and then you can mix around, because it's just linking, and the circle is actually very small here because Singapore is smaller. And so yeah, usually you get advice here and there, but be nice, So because some people I think when they talk, maybe I mean, my tolerance level is high, so if you're rude to me, and maybe we can still talk, but if you're too rude, some people may get offended, and you won't get any advice, they will just hit you, so yeah, so just mix around, oh, Gary Chu, Gary Chu, talk to Gary Chu, can.
Wow, so fast you Tai Chi already. Okay, cool. What about the pros? Any last words for the pros?
Pros, just keep doing what they are doing,
Ah.
I mean, so the pros, I mean, I advice for the pros, no, I don't have any advice, Yeah,
no advice.
It's weird, I mean, I'm learning from them, most probably. I'll be, I mean, learning from them rather than anything, so it's more of like, I can't think of anything, The pros are pros. They know more stuff.
Yeah, we need more pros to come on this show to share. Oh, maybe we have one final question from Hang Guang before we end off.
Hang Guang, yes.
Yes, where do you guys get the energy to do so much stuff?
Energy,
yeah.
I don't know. Energy. I that I really don't know, but I really like freaking enjoying what I do, So but that's like trying to answer without an answer, right? I mean, so
I don't think it's wrong to say that. Like for myself, it's, I mean, artists, we're all very emotional people, we are we respond to emotions pretty strongly, right, through our work. Like for me, starting up this channel is just purely out of passion. I just felt there was a need to bring, like, different folks from different expertises in our entertainment industry to just talk about where things are. I'm just doing it. How do I find energy? I also don't know. yeah, you just got me to. There's something about something aspirational that got me to say, okay, I need to do this, and it's bigger than myself, and I just do it, lah. Whether it continues or not, that's beyond me, and I don't want to spend too much energy thinking whether it will work or not. But at least I just continue doing it, That's
Yeah.
I find it purposeful, and I think that's the most important thing that I'm trying to articulate here. Yeah, it's purpose, If I can find and narrow down, okay, what's the purpose, what's the point and purpose of doing this, and if I find it important enough and worthwhile enough, I'll just do it, Yeah, but that's for myself, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, my mind drift a lot lah. So I think a lot of stuff lah. So simply just this, I'm seeing it from a lot of angles lah. So Han Guang, right? Han Guang was asking, actually end of the day you got to analyze yourself lah. So okay, there's this book called it's from Scott Adams. It's called How to Fail. How to fail at everything and win big, or something like that.
Wow.
So it's there's this concept that he talked about biohacking yourself. So meaning it's basically just habit building lah. So for me, if I get bored about certain stuff, I shift. I just do something else. So I don't, because time is precious lah. So I do one thing and then I shift. If I get bored, I shift. So then I try to be supportive of myself. Meaning I can be critical, but you don't be overly critical because you demotivate yourself. And then kind of like I constantly say, I think in iteration. I mean, I'm quite forgiving to myself. So I know if I fail, if I do lousy this time, next time I'll do better. So I make sure I'm climbing the thing. And then there's also this thing called, it's from Simon Sinek, Sinek.
Simon Sinek. Yes.
Yeah.
Simon
So
Sinek.
he said he mentioned something about like so he have a lot of stuff lah. So there's one thing that he talked about is similar to what you're saying lah. Knowing your why lah. So knowing your why, you kind of operate. But for me, I don't work in that complex level lah. So for me, I know I'm just doing stuff. Then that he mentioned there's this thing called infinite frameworks. Infinite gameplay. Or I think it's called infinite gameplay. Meaning a lot of time we set a goal, right? You hit the goal and then that's it. But the funny thing about what we do is not goal orientated. It could be milestone that you try to hit, but it's not goal. So you are constantly iterating towards a better self. So that's what I do. And so that's my base thinking. And so energy and then you see all this stuff we are talking about art, we are talking about setting direction, and then we are talking about the mental framework. But there's also the physical part. Say if the full day you feel tired, restless, that could be one reason why you feel you don't have energy. So running helps, or doing whatever stuff that motivate you, exercising just moving the physical body. I feel it helps to, I don't know, recharge your brain. And then there's also eating habits that they say also affect your would affect your energy level. But I'm not really in depth into that. So it could be quite complex. You're thinking like your physical self, you're also thinking about the mental self, and then you're also thinking about a framework. So there's multiple things to this lah. Yeah. So I mean I enjoy what I do. I get bored, I shift. When I say I shift, maybe I read some other books or I do some other stuff. And then because end of the day, right, for me I constantly think of all the thing that you could waste, right? Time is the most precious. So So usually I try to be careful with how I use my time, so called.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, energy level, it can be a quite a complex thing, depending on how you think about it.
Okay. And on that note, I want to thank everyone for spending 1 hour ish with us. Thank you all, and most of all, thank you, Ray, for coming on to the show. Thank you for coming in and sharing so much valuable
Thank you
stuff
for
with us.
inviting me.
No, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's just it's just a pleasure to just have different artists coming together and learning different things from them. I'm also taking this as an opportunity to learn from every single one because everyone, we all are a very diversified lot, right? So we have different point of views, different experiences. That's what make our art, personal art, unique, right? That's how we see the world, and that's how we express it on a canvas or maybe on 3D or whatsoever. So thank you so much for your time. So on next Wednesday, we will have an artist from Indonesia. She's in Singapore. She's Indonesian, but she's in Singapore. Uh, Anastasia. She'll be joining us on Wednesday, so stay tuned. I think sharing a little bit more about her art and how she goes about with doing her process. So yeah, stick around. So thank you so much for sticking around with us and being here with us. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next couple of streams. So you guys,
Thanks
bye,
everyone. Bye.
bye.
Bye.